Well, we keep talking about it. Everybody's putting on pants again and going back to the office. And according to some data you're looking at, Brian, that they're already doing the buying to support that move.
It sure seems that way, Julie. Some good data out of Bank of America economist Michelle Meyer's team. B of A tracks debit and credit card spending by its users. And they put out a recent note yesterday looking at the 2-year growth rate of spending at clothing and department stores for the 7 days ending June 19th. Well, that growth rate accelerated week over week. The 2-year sales growth rate at clothing stores rose 13 percentage points to 36%. Pretty hot. And over at department stores, the 2-year growth rate surged 25 percentage points to 16%. That is some very strong growth and a very strong improvement on spending here week over week. Good quote from Michelle Meyer saying, quote, "This could simply be noise in the data and a reversal from some softening last week, or perhaps an indication of people refreshing wardrobes as people return to the office, travel, and socialize." As we've been discussing, Julie, I would take the bet on it being the latter. People are out there on the websites, they're in the stores, they're looking for some form of return to work gear, whether it's something more comfortable, whether it's return to a suit and dress as if you were wearing pre-pandemic. I see it on retailer websites. Seemingly every male dress shirt is out of stock except the absolute most ugliest of styles. So a lot of people are buying this stuff, and you're starting to now also see it in terms of stock movements. The Amplify Online Retail ETF is up pretty significantly over the past month. Macy's shares over the past month up 6%. Dillard's, more of a higher end play, up 35% over the past month. Take a step back. Overall, my quote is pretty much this, my hot take. If you have bought 10 new pairs of clothes for your return to work in the past month, you've probably missed a 10% move in an apparel stock. Just keeping it real here, guys. But there is still time to play in the boom, so do not fear not just yet. And you're going to probably see some very strong second quarters out of retail. I picked up on that. It's covering the Jefferies Consumer Conference this week. Guidance looks good. Demand looks good. A lot of these retailers are probably sitting on blowout second quarters and some pretty upbeat third quarter guidance when they report in mid-July.
I mean, that's interesting. So you're saying people should buy the stocks instead of clothes, but that's not quite as fun.
Just buy both. If you're out there buying 10 new pairs of pants,
sure,
you could probably own some stocks.
Okay, you could buy both. It's interesting as you talk about some of these retailers. I'm looking at Lululemon also. It's up about 15% over the past month. So you would think if all that people were doing was buying going out clothes and work clothes, they wouldn't be benefiting a company like that, or Nike for that matter, right? And yet it still seems to be. So it's interesting that people might be refreshing their work wardrobes, but they don't seem to have stopped buying the other stuff, at least if you look at what the stocks are reflecting and what we're hearing from some of these companies.
I will push back a little bit on that. I think Lululemon, everybody always is quick to think Lululemon just sells yoga pants. But if you go on the website, you look at the male and female assortments, they do sell stuff now that you can wear to work and wear after work. And it's pretty stylish. Look, our very own Miles Udland showed up at our first office party in more than a year, about 2 weeks ago, wearing a pair of pretty dressy Lululemon pants, some stretch material. He looked great in it, but they sell a whole website of that stuff.
Well, listen, the next time we talk to CEO Calvin McDonald, we'll have to ask him what the breakdown is between their traditional athletic wear and yoga wear and the stuff that's more appropriate for the office. We'll have to put a pin in that and save that question for him, as I'm sure he's going to talk to us really soon. All right, Brian Sozzi.